right, welcome back to African Discourse channel. I'm here with someone from the cybersecurity, industry, and he's here to tell us how protected we are when it comes to our data and our money and anything in the fintech industry. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. My name is Iya. What is your name?
Thank you, Iya. Thanks for having me. My name is Abubakar Isaka, and I'm the president of the Cybersecurity Expert Association of Ghana. So it is a network of cybersecurity professionals. We are not domain specific and we cut across the whole country. So our membership are the professionals who have certification and experience to operate in the cyberspace in the country.
That's very good. Now, I'm very glad that I have you here. When I was interviewing the previous people, I asked the question about how protected we are when it comes to our money with these new digital technologies that are coming in place. How protected is our money?
Well, I can say that we are protected by extension in the sense that I'll give two answers. We are protected, so it's 50-50. We are protected and we are not. We are protected in the sense that all the fintech applications that have been developed follow certain structures that complies with domestic regulations, that complies with international standards. So obviously there are certain protections, there are certain encryptions that have been done in the development process of the whole application. But then we are not protected because every system that we are using currently is vulnerable in one way or the other. Because we are looking at the application domain, it's protected. How about the human domain? Our awareness, our technical ability to understand, to be able to differentiate from a genuine fintech application and a non-genuine fintech application becomes the strength that we will have in the protection landscape. And that is where we are lacking. Let me back this by data. In the ITU Global Cybersecurity Index, Ghana has been ranked very nicely when you talk about our position. In Africa, currently, we are the role model when we talk about cybersecurity. I'm talking about the recent Global Cybersecurity Index. But in that document, it is sad to tell you that our performance in terms of awareness creation is low. So we are scoring below average when you talk about awareness creation. That tells us that citizens are not cautious when it comes to security awareness. So the infrastructure can be robust, it can be resilient, but then the weakest will not be the citizen who might not even know the robustness or the resilience of the application. So in that case, the resilience may not actually be effective. So it's a 50-50 thing.
So what is your office doing about these things?
Well, the Cybersecurity Expert Association of Ghana, just as I said, is a network of cybersecurity professionals. Generally, we individually represent certain institutions, public institutions, private institutions, and then we also do our corporate social responsibility by creating this awareness. We are trying to fix this gap. So in this year alone, we are starting what we call the ICE campaign, that is the Initiative for Cybersecurity Education. What we are doing is that we are touching on all bases. We are breaking it down into three: the government sector, the private sector, should I say, and then the general public. So we are going to continuously create awareness to let people know the vulnerabilities that are associated. If you look at the robustness of fintechs that we are seeing today, talk about them. I don't want to mention names, there are a plethora of them. But you see, when the citizens are not even aware of the vulnerabilities that they may face when they are using these solutions, then the solutions are not useful. And that is where we come in. Awareness creation. We also influence policy guidelines. We influence, advisory role to the state and any other institution. And I must say, sometimes it's not everything that we say. But anyway, we are good. Let me say that so that I don't scare you that much.
We are good.
Yeah.
And so is there a regulation where it forces these fintech companies to, give the ordinary Ghanaian education when it comes to some of these security issues?
Yes. First of all, the Act 1038, which is the Cybersecurity Act, gave birth to what we call the Cybersecurity Authority. The authority is a statutory body that is also clouded with the responsibility to provide awareness creation, to also do sort of regulations to all these institutions in collaboration. I'm zeroing it down to fintech in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana. What the Bank of Ghana is doing is to also set aside policies that will be regulating all fintechs in the country. So yes, of course, Act 1038 is doing something. And we can also talk of Act 843, which is the Data Protection Act. They are also doing something in terms of awareness creation that will also ensure that these solutions that are coming on board, people are getting aware. So statutory-wise, yes, of course, there are certain things being done by these three: Bank of Ghana, Cybersecurity Authority, Data Protection Commission. All these entities are coming together to ensure things are safeguarded.
I'm happy there's, things in motion, but I want to know for the ordinary Ghanaian, like our parents who are not on the media, who don't, usually get on these digital platforms. What are we doing for them?
So that is where you and I come in, and that is where I will have to do a passionate call. I'm doing this passionate call because sometimes the willingness that we have, for example, I have the technical know-how to do extensive capacity building, and I've moved out of the country. Last 2 years we were in Nigeria. We learn from outside, we gain experience, we come back home. But we realize that there is no deliberate effort in showing, support. So what if fintech companies come together, collaborate with we cybersecurity experts to now do a robust capacity building that will sink in very well? It comes back to affect them, right?
Yeah.
The effect comes back to hit them. We have the technical knowledge. I think it's about time that fintechs begin to now start thinking that now we need to set aside certain resources, invest in capacity building, because once people are becoming aware, they are boosting confidence. That comes back to help us. MasterCard is doing this very well with their MasterCard Foundation, right? So I'm seeing that now Fido and the rest, all the other fintech institutions should also come together, call the cybersecurity professionals together, and let us embark on a national agenda. Trust me, at the end of the day, the confidence will be brought back to the fintech institutions, and people will even subscribe to their services more than they can even imagine. So this is the way. I have shown the way.
Thank you for showing the way. I hope that when they, listen to this interview, they will have a change of mind, because recently there's been a rise of fraud, like the MTN mobile money fraud.
Yes.
There's been a rise of like that. And so for the ordinary Ghanaian, you sit down and go like, what is MTN doing about this? How are these people able to get our data to be able to access the money that it's supposed to be secured in their accounts? You see, it makes us very worried about our money. And then for us, it's kind of hard to convince your mother or your grandmother that it is safe when we are all seeing some of these things going on.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that you are putting steps in place to address some of these issues. So if our viewers want to interact with you, we want you to tell us your social media handle.
All right, let me start with the LinkedIn, because that's where the professionals stay.
Yeah.
All right. The name is Abubakar Isaka. Abubakar Isaka on LinkedIn. The same name on Facebook and the same name on Twitter. That's X. And then the same name, Abubakar, on TikTok too as well. So I'm on TikTok. Yeah. But I'm not in Snapchat yet. I'm still trying to go there. Yes.
Abubakar Isaka. Abubakar Isaka. Okay, so all right, Abubakar Isaka on all social media platforms. Make sure you get in touch with him. He has all the knowledge when it comes to cybersecurity. And I hope that the fintech institutions in Ghana would also do as he has said. Thank you very much, Abubakar.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Same here.